I drink tea almost every morning. I guess it's my British roots that made me genetically prone to drinking tea instead of coffee.
I've been heating tea water different ways over the years, but I've never consciously paid attention to which method is fastest.
So in this video, we're going to find out which of the popular cooking methods is fastest at heating a pot of tea water.
If I can figure this out, I can implement the most efficient method into my everyday life to reduce my carbon footprint. And not only will I implement this method for heating water, I'll use it for all other cooking I do as well, because whatever heats water fastest will heat everything else fastest. There are a lot of ways to heat water, but in this video I'm going to focus on the most popular ones. If you can think of a better, different, or more eco way to heat water, tell me in the comments below. First, we've got the somewhat dated electric stove, which uses a heating element under electric resistance. It's the most popular cooking method in Florida, a place where the governor is trying to prevent the non-existent banning of gas stoves to ensure that everyone who doesn't want to buy a gas stove has the ability to buy one. Then there's the gas stove, which uses a direct flame to heat. Then we've got the purpose-built electric tea kettle. We've got the wood stove, which uses wood to heat the house and of course has to be already hot to use it to heat tea water. We've got the microwave, and lastly, we've got the electric induction burner. These cooking methods are going to battle it out. The competition will determine which can heat up a cup of water fastest. For all except the electric tea kettle, we'll be using the same kettle, my trusty stainless steel whistle kettle I bought at a thrift store for a few bucks last year. Oh wait, we probably don't want to use the steel kettle in the microwave either, because it doesn't fit.
I have to say I haven't conducted this experiment yet, so I have no idea which one will be fastest. I definitely have my favorite though. Before we get going with the competition, right now what I'd love for you all to do is write a comment below with your guess. You can guess which will be fastest, which is most efficient, or which is most eco, and stick with it. Accept fate if you're wrong and don't delete, but along with your guess, give some reasons why you think it's best or likely to win.
Our first heating method is the electric range. Like many of our examples today, this method uses electricity, which could either be made from coal, a hydroelectric dam, nuclear power, solar, or wind. When I use electricity at my house in Missouri or in Florida, I'm using solar power. So that's a renewable energy, and more sustainable and eco-friendly than the fossil fuel options. I really hate these things. They use electricity under resistance in a heating coil. The heating element has to heat up and then transfer its heat through conduction to the pot and then to the water. And it has a flywheel effect that makes it really hard to regulate the temperature. It heats up slowly and cools down slowly, and it uses a lot of power. Also, a lot of heat is lost around the outside of the pot. The electric stove, our first trial, wound up with a time of 3 minutes 33 seconds to boil our tea water. Next we have the microwave, which, like the electric stove, uses electricity to heat. But it does it in a very different way. Microwave ovens generate a microwave radio signal that goes through food. Because water molecules are polar, meaning they have a positive charge on one end and a negative charge on the other, microwaves start the water molecules in food spinning, and it's the friction that they generate rubbing on other molecules that causes the food to heat. This microwave uses 1500 watts while it's running. That's a lot of power consumption, just like the electric stove. The microwave heated a cup of water in 3 minutes and 56 seconds. And the propane gas stove. This burns a fossil fuel, which is not renewable and has to be manufactured. It puts direct heat out onto the pot, so it heats the pot through convection and radiation. A lot of heat is lost around the sides of the pot, so it's not very efficient. But the fuel is used directly to heat, so it doesn't require a change of energy like some production of electricity requires, such as when coal is used to heat water to turn a turbine to generate electricity. With each change of energy form, a huge amount of energy is lost to heat. Measuring the amount of fuel used or the BTUs needed to heat the water is a lot harder to quantify and compare to the other heating methods, so we'll just look at the speed for this one. The propane stove heated 1 cup of water in 2 minutes 27 seconds. This electric kettle has the same variables as the microwave and electric range as far as where its energy comes from. But unlike the microwave, you can only heat water with it, so it's not a very versatile appliance. It also uses a lot of electricity in the time it's running, as anything that generates heat through electricity does. The question is does it do what it's made to do better than other methods? This pot uses 1,000 watts while it's operating. Okay, so the electric water pot is the clear leader currently. It took only 1 minute and 16 seconds. Much faster. The wood stove uses wood, which for me is waste wood I've scavenged. This stove is already hot because it's heating the house, so taking advantage of the already heated stove to heat water doesn't require any extra use of fuel and probably is just making use of waste heat. But is it faster? The wood stove boiled 1 cup of water in 12 minutes 33 seconds, so not a great time, but it was all renewable energy and all waste heat. And finally, we've got the electric induction burner, which, like the other electric options, uses electricity to heat water. This is a brilliant innovation in cooking. The way induction burners work is electricity is induced and resistance created in the pot itself instead of a separate element as with the conventional electric range. For this reason, it's able to heat the water in the pot faster. You do need the right kind of pot for the burner, as it won't work with some kinds of pots. Anything iron and most stainless steel will work fine with an induction burner. I love this way of cooking because it gives you a lot more control over the heat than an electric range or even a gas stove. It has no flywheel effect either. When the juice is cut off, the pot doesn't continue to heat like with an electric range. The induction burner boiled the water in just 1 minute, 7 seconds.
Okay, so we've got our winner. The induction burner took the least amount of time, 1 minute, 7 seconds. It was a close call between the electric tea kettle and the induction burner. Probably negligible difference. Weighing other factors, there is a large difference in the wattage. The electric tea kettle uses just 1,000 watts, while the induction burner uses 1,700 watts on the highest setting to heat the water in the same amount of time. However, the electric tea kettle is limited in what it can do. It only heats water, while the induction burner is much more versatile. You can keep your counter clear of appliances with just an induction stovetop, but if you really want to conserve power and you heat a lot of tea water, you might want to get an electric tea kettle. But we do know that the electric stove and the microwave use a lot of energy and are much slower at heating water, so they'll also cook your food much slower. I hope you found this little competition enlightening. Did you guess right? Thanks for watching. Check out my Patreon page if you'd like to support the channel, and subscribe to see more videos like this one. Cheers!
It's not bad. I'm not sure which one makes the best tea, but I know which one makes the fastest tea now.